Hi, I'm Tanya Mitchell, and today with me I have Ronnie. And what I thought I would do is ask Ronnie a few questions about his experience with Learning RX, and then I would just show you an activity that he did while in training, so you get an idea of what type of activities people do. So tell me a little bit about your history and why you decided to do training.
As far as history, I had some head injuries because I had 3 car accidents, some whiplash, and they told me I had a mild traumatic brain injury. To me, mild and traumatic seemed kind of a weird mix, but so I was having a lot of difficulty with memory, especially short-term memory, and having, I think the term that you guys use is processing speed. I was having difficulty combining a lot of different concepts together and coming up with a conclusion. So I decided to do, I think it's called the Think RX program, to work on my cognitive skills. From what they told me.
And how long did you do the program?
I did it was 3 months.
3 months?
Yeah.
And what type of results did you get from the training?
To me, one of the biggest things I've taken away with it is increased confidence, just because for me the idea that if I needed to evaluate 2 or 3 or 4 things in order to make a decision, prior to the training I was having a hard time with that. So I'd get into the second thing and I'd get onto the third item and I'd forget whether I fully evaluated the first one. So I never felt comfortable making a decision, but I got tired of rehearsing things over and over. So eventually I'd say, the heck with it, choose that one. And after the training, I was able to remember 1, 2, 3, all of them. I made good decisions because I already went through for sure. I knew I made the choices I needed to, and so I could choose one, and I felt better about my decisions. So
How were your test scores?
The test scores, they improved dramatically from the beginning to the end. As far as memory, short-term memory increased a lot, which was my goal, my hope. When I first started it, honestly, I got a little bit frustrated in the process of it, and it was probably about 2 or 3 weeks into it that it finally made sense to me that every time I got to a certain level of skill, that the trainer would push me beyond that, and I didn't like that at first, because I finally made it, it was working, just let's do that for a little while. And she kept pushing me, and I got frustrated. So once she made it real clear that they were trying to basically, when I get to a certain level, break that and go beyond and try to push me beyond it, then it was okay. But it took me literally, I think it took me a couple of weeks of frustration when I first started, just to get to the point where it was okay to realize, even though I finally got to a certain place, now it's going to get harder the very next time. And it was okay because we were getting better. So that was, I guess, my biggest frustration overall. But once it became clear that that was what we were doing, I was okay with it.
When you started the program, how long had it been since your TBI?
The accidents?
Yeah.
Well,
there were several accidents?
there was 3 accidents, yeah. They were all within a span of 8 months. The first 2 were only 5 weeks apart, so that's, I think, why the head injury, because it was cumulative. From what I understand, they just get worse and worse. And it was, I'd say, let's see, it was 99 to 2000, and then, so probably about 5 or 6 years.
Okay, so I'm going to show you a procedure called memory digits. This is a procedure that helps with concentration, spatial memory, visual span, and then it also helps with multitasking, which is the ability to do more than one thing at a time. And by doing that, we're also going to help with processing speed. We use a metronome to help create intensity to the procedure, and what we've learned is if you want to improve memory and attention and even processing speed skills, then you have to stretch that person and you have to create an intense environment where they can't really take mental breaks, and the metronome does that for us. It's something that we call loading, and we do it with all of our procedures. My goal as a trainer is to work right below frustration level, which is something that's really great with personal training, because I can watch my student, see where they are, and adjust so that I'm always working at an intense level, but not too frustrating for them. So I'm going to turn the metronome on here, and we do things at about 1 per second, and then let me show you the procedure. What we're going to do is, I have these cards that have 3 digits on them, and Ronnie's going to say these as if they were a tic-tac-toe grid. So this card, he would say blank 7 blank, blank blank 4, blank blank 2. Okay, and he's going to count to 3. Look at the card. I'll show you the card, and he'll tell you what's on it. Ready? Count.
1, 2, 3. Blank, blank, 7, 5, blank, 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 2.
Whoops. Ready? Go.
1, 2, 3. Blank, blank, 7, 0, blank, 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 9.
Good. Go.
1, 2, 3. Blank, 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 5, blank, 2, blank, blank, 3.
Good. Okay, so that would be sort of a beginning level, and what we'll do is we'll add more digits onto here, but we're also going to add some other activities, because if we can load things on top of each other, then that memory skill that we're working will become more of an automatic level for the student. So I'm going to add a task onto this, and Ronnie, what I'll do is I'll say a number while you're counting, and I want you to add that to each of the digits on the card, okay?
Okay.
Ready? Count.
1,
3.
2, 3. Blank, 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 8, blank, 5, blank, blank, 6.
Good. Go.
1,
4.
2, 3. Blank, blank, 7, blank, blank, 10, blank, 4, blank.
Good. Yeah, I think you got them all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can add that, and then I'm going to just do one other activity, and I'm going to give you the direction that I want you to read the card. So instead of going left to right,
Okay.
which would be this way, you could go up this way.
Okay.
And I'll give it as if you were saying it that way
Okay.
on the side. And let's add 3 to every number at
3.
the same time.
Okay.
Ready? Go.
1, 2, 3. Blank, 9, 6, 3, blank, 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 blank.
You did it. Go.
1, 2, 3. Blank, blank, 10, 12, 6, blank, 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 blank.
Good. We'll do one more. You ready?
Yep.
I'm going to do it harder this time.
Okay.
Go.
1, 2, 3. 12, blank, 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 blank. I think I'm going around 5, blank, 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 and then I don't know where.
Close, close. I sort
I
of
wasn't
framed
sure
that
what
on
to
you. Yeah, it's sort of like a G thing.
Okay.
But that should give you an idea of some of our training. And the sessions are usually about 50 minutes long, and you do feel mentally tired when you're done. But tell me a little bit about your experience with training. I know that you talked a little bit about being frustrated at first because you realized that you actually had to sort of work your brain a little bit.
Yeah.
But in training, then you probably plateaued a little bit.
Actually, there were certain things all along that she would always ask me, what did I remember? I mean, there was something she was constantly asking me, what did I remember? And that was always a struggle for me. I never quite felt like I remembered enough to make it worthwhile writing down. But once I started remembering a few things here and there, she would be real happy and then make me happy. So overall, I don't remember really plateauing. I just got to a point where she kept making things harder and then I'd finish.
Did this ever, do you feel, was it too hard for you because of your TBI, or?
Well, at first everything was too hard.
Yeah.
And then it became easier to remember. There's certain tasks I think that were still hard at the end. I forget what they're called. When you'd say a number and I was supposed to add to the second number,
Memory hold?
and then it was addition and subtraction and then multiplication and division and then cycling through, it just got harder and harder and harder, and those were hard. I mean, I might get it good with addition all the way through or multiplication, but when you start going back and forth, plus having to remember that extra number that you just said, not the one that the trainer said, got a little bit hard.
Good, good. Well, we always want to be a little hard.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome.
Hopefully this will help people.
Yeah.